Hudson County View live at Uncut. I'm your host, the guy that'll tell you 2 and 2 makes 3, your favorite cult of personality, John R. Heinis. And we're going to go a little old school today. We're going to go with the guest first. And today I'm actually with the Heights Councilman, my representative in Jersey City. That's Jersey City Ward D Councilman Yousef Saleh. Yousef, thanks for coming in.
Thank you so much, John. I really appreciate coming on to your show.
No problem. So let's talk a little bit. You just had a birthday party, and of course I attended. Thanks for inviting me. Now, you said that you plan on running again in 2025. Can you give us any color on where you might be in that equation?
Right now, the dust hasn't settled as to who I'd be running with, but I am running for Ward D in 2025 again. There's a lot of work that needs to get finished. We haven't finished it yet. We've made a lot of progress. And I'm hoping to, serve again for my residents.
So when we do get to that point, I guess it's really never not election city in Jersey City, as you well know.
Yeah.
But what are some things that you think you've done a good job of here during this first full term?
Well, I think the first thing would be the Central Avenue Streetscape project that we completed, and we did that in the first year and a half of my tenure. We've also added more speed humps. We have about 120, 140 speed humps in the Heights. We have added, we finished Riverview Park in terms of the construction. We're doing Leonard Gordon Park. We're going to turf up a portion of Riverview Park so that it's a multi-purpose field. And some exciting things on the way. We're going to turf up a field in Pershing Field, although not Ward D. We want to have it ready for cricket. We want people to play soccer. We're also working on a dog run in Pershing Field as well. Leonard Gordon Park construction is currently underway. So we've done a lot in terms of the progress around town. We have the lowest commercial vacancy rate on Central Avenue in the history of the SID. So it's at 98% occupancy at this point. And yeah, I would say business is booming. We have some things we do have to take care of. Street safety is something I'm going to continue to work on in the remainder of my tenure and for the next term as well.
All right, so when we're talking Vision Zero, street safety, since I had Councilman Solomon on a couple weeks ago, he's put up this ordinance that you guys took a look at the caucus, where the licensing of e-bike delivery services, specifically it's different from Hoboken in that it would license through the businesses instead of the individual drivers. There's other differences too, but I think that's the main one. So when you're talking about street safety and when you're talking about getting sidewalks off the streets, where do you stand on this issue and what do you think of the ordinance?
I think we have to build the apparatus for the street safety. So we've created more bike lanes, and now that they're created, we're not done, of course. There's more bike lanes that have to get done and connected so that people have a safe trip when they ride their bicycle. But we are trying to make sure that the delivery drivers, or the delivery bikers rather, are using those bike lanes instead of riding on the sidewalk. And now is the time for the education and the compliance component, because we can't just have I get the complaints all the time that they ride on the sidewalk, they don't obey any laws. So we need the e-bike delivery people to start to abide by our laws and use the infrastructure that we've developed for them.
So will you be supporting this ordinance on first reading?
Yes, absolutely. We're going to put it up for the first reading, and we want to get community feedback. We want to know how to make it better. And March 20th or 22nd is when we'll have the second reading. So there'll be a little gap of time to collect that information.
All right, very good. Now, another thing, obviously you put up the ceasefire resolution back in November. It did get the result you were hoping for. You've seen neighboring Union cities passed one, and now you've seen these activists also go to Hoboken pushing for one. So is this something that you want to pursue, or you think you've basically made your point as far as you could take it at this stage?
As far as the ceasefire resolution, it's something that both communities initially came to the council and requested. It wasn't the ceasefire for the Israeli Jewish community. They wanted to see the council condemn Hamas, and then for the Muslim minority communities, they wanted to see a ceasefire. And then we made it very Jersey City specific, so that we had Jersey City action items like an anti-hate campaign, what to do if you're the victim of a bias crime, putting a community meeting together with the council and all these different members of the community. I thought it was a good resolution. It wasn't a perfect resolution, and it didn't please either side, but both communities wanted to be heard, and that was, I'm here to serve them. So as far as the other communities passing these resolutions, I staked my case. I stated my case for why we should pass it, and I don't think I'm going to entertain. I can't entertain it unless another council member is trying to pick it up, or more council people want to pass it. So.
All right, fair enough. Councilman, don't go anywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. We're going to take our first break. We'll be right back.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and launch inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net.
Hudson County View, live and uncut. John R. Heinis, and I'm still here with Jersey City Ward D Councilman Yousef Saleh. So, Councilman, even though there's no municipal elections this year, a lot of people talking about this primary. Of course, in the 8th District Congressional, we have U.S. Rep. Rob Menendez defending his seat against Hoboken Mayor Ravi Bala, potentially Kyle Jacey as well. But the real fight seems to be Menendez versus Bala. Up to this point, you have any preference in this race?
Oh, that's a that's a hot button one. I will be supporting Rob Menendez. We went to law school together. I do think that Ravi Bala is an extraordinary candidate as well. I think he's been an incredible mayor for Hoboken, but my preference will be for Rob Menendez, and due to our personal relationship, and I also think he's done a good job as a congressperson. So.
All right, simple enough. Now, we're similarly, when we're talking about the U.S. Senate race, again, it looks like a 4-candidate field at this moment. You may have seen last week I had Dr. Patricia Campos Medina on. But, the race seems to be Andy Kim against First Lady Tammy Murphy. Any thoughts there from you personally?
It's a race for the ages, I think. You have Andy Kim, who's really, really intelligent, and I think he's going to state his case. And he's a Rhodes Scholar. He speaks fluently, like 5 languages or more. He's like Rosetta Stone. And then we have Tammy Murphy, who is the First Lady of New Jersey, but she's also done a lot of things for maternal health and for women. And I think she has to state her case a little more strongly for the people if she wants to win. So
would it be fair to say you're leaning towards the Congress bid, or you're just undecided at this moment?
I'm impartial at this moment. I'm going to continue to listen and listen to their debates and listen to their policy platforms. So.
All right.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So more at the home front now. Let's talk a little bit about the Pershing Field Ice Rink. I know you mentioned the Pershing not too long ago. And, obviously it's been closed for over a year, and some parents, especially those affiliated with the hockey leagues, are getting upset about that. I'm sure you're going to hear from them again tomorrow night, if I had to take a wild guess. But what do you think the solution is here? And what could you do as the local representative?
So what I had told the parents when they had come to me is, you need to come to the city council meeting and state your case, not just to me or to Rich Bogiano, whose ward it's in, but you need to say it to the whole council, because the rest of the council is not aware that this is, a dire priority for the city. So in order for us to get the capital expenditures that we need to fix the rink, and at that time we were talking about like $5 million, like you need to get the rest of the council on board for this. This is not a small potato endeavor.
Right.
So what's happened since is that then Assemblywoman, now Senator McKnight, did give us funding, about $1 million. It's with the NJDEP right now, and we are able to spend it either to make a plan or to try to attempt to fix it. So right now we have someone from Bayonne that fixed the Bayonne ice rink. It was deemed irredeemable. It was deemed beyond repair, that it had to be, demolished and redone again. But evidently, this wizard was able to fix the Bayonne ice rink. So we're having him conduct tests at the Pershing Field ice rink, and we're keeping our fingers crossed. I don't want to get people's hopes up, but if he's able to fix it, the ice rink should be open for the winter season.
Okay.
And if not, we're still going to develop a long-term plan for the ice rink.
Okay, fair enough. Now, the other big speaking group that's been coming to a lot of meetings is the one from Portside Towers. Of course, they've been coming, I think, well over a year now. And they got that federal case talking about their rent leveling decision. They feel it hasn't been appropriately enforced. And where do you stand on this situation and this set of circumstances?
I think the residents of Portside have been taken for a ride, unfortunately, and I've stood with them firmly from the outset. I think that it's egregious what's happened to them, and I'm glad that the Rent Leveling Board did say that both buildings are rent controlled, and now it's time for enforcement, and it's time for the Equity Residential to abide by the ruling in the Rent Leveling Board.
Okay. Councilman, any closing thoughts today?
We got a lot of exciting stuff happening in Ward D, and a lot of capital projects, and stay tuned. I'm doing What's on Your Mind month. It's the first time we're doing it, so we're gonna basically get a pulse check on the neighborhood, see what the priorities are, what pieces of legislation they want us to continue to push forward, and what the priorities of the ward are. And there will be direct and actionable steps taken from the survey. So I encourage you all to take What's on Your Mind month survey.
And where could they find that?
That is on my social media pages, and it should be there, yes.
Okay. Yeah, I know some neighbors that'd be interested in that. Councilman, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching. We're not done yet. We're going to do some recap right after this word from our sponsors.
Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights, your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments, carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants, all major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-2712.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in one of our many high-rise towers. With amenities such as the on-site Newport Path, light rail, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Kohl's, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams and Acme Supermarket are just outside your front door. A health and fitness center, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. Enjoy the New York skyline from our waterfront and various parks. Manhattan is just one pass stop away, or quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Looking to visit? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. For more information, visit us at newportnj.com. Make lasting memories to cherish forever. It's incredible. It's you, Newport. Live like you want.
Panapinto Properties, Jersey City, shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office spaces and addresses your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment, adjacent to all modes of transportation with on-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. Call 201-521-9000 or visit online at panapintodevelopment.com. Panapinto Properties, building Jersey City for everyone.
Good Friend Self-Storage in North Bergen, New Jersey is a fully climate-controlled facility equipped with state-of-the-art security, packing supplies, a Refer a Friend program, and multiple loading docks convenient for commercial use. Located just off of Route 3 at 4301 Tunnelly Avenue, Route 1 and 9. Call 201-867-2444 or visit us on the web today. Good Friend Self-Storage. Let us be your good friend.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in one of our many high-rise towers. With amenities such as the on-site Newport Path, light rail, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Kohl's, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams and Acme Supermarket are just outside your front door. A health and fitness center, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. Enjoy the New York skyline from our waterfront and various parks. Manhattan is just one pass stop away, or quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Looking to visit? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. For more information, visit us at newportnj.com. Make lasting memories to cherish forever. It's incredible. It's you, Newport. Live like you want.
Hudson County View live on Uncut. John R. Heinis. So quite a few items of interest on the Hoboken City Council agenda this evening, which is not unusual these days. So first, let's talk a little bit about cannabis dispensaries, which has been a hot button issue in the Mile Square City for a couple years, as you guys know. Ever since the marijuana referendum in New Jersey passed, Hoboken has had a little bit of trouble here getting things on a level platform that everyone can seem to get on board with. And now we see that again with this new ordinance that's being introduced by 5th Ward Councilman Phil Cohen and Councilman at Large Joe Quintero. In short, what this ordinance would do is it would allow dispensaries to be located within 200 feet of a school, which is consistent with the state regulatory regulations, I should say, for alcohol establishments, liquor stores. So it's currently 600 feet. So this is quite a change, and according to a copy of this ordinance, it says the Hoboken City Council seeks to align its cannabis regulations more closely with NJ alcohol requirements, therefore bringing local requirements more into conformity with the intent of the CREAM Act. Hoboken has made it clear that it wants cannabis retailers to operate here to serve the needs of adult use customers, reduce or eliminate the black market sales, and increase revenue. You, of course, and there's an opposing resolution, which in typical Hoboken fashion, of course there is, sponsored by 2nd Ward Councilwoman Tiffany Fisher and Council President Jen Giattino. And this says the ordinance, if approved, would go against the cannabis regulations of at least 21 other states. Now, they cite in the resolution a nixle that came from Mayor Ravi Bala. Those are the emergency alerts that the city uses. It says, a resident also brought to my attention that while a dispensary is prohibited from being located on the same block of a school, it could be located on the adjacent block. As a result, I also propose that any dispensary be prohibited from being located within 750 feet of any school or early childhood learning facility. That was from March 1st, 2022, 1 month before the council, in collaboration with the mayor and the administration, made those quote-unquote common sense cannabis regulations. So with that said, of course, I reached out to the mayor's office, and they gave a very succinct answer. City spokeswoman Marilyn Baer said to me, Mayor Bala looks forward to reviewing the modifications proposed by the ordinance and hearing feedback from the community. Very straightforward, pretty run-of-the-mill. Now, another interesting thing is entering the fray here is Liz Yurtacho, and she ran for 5th Ward Council, and she's also spearheading this lawsuit against Blue Violets, and it also involved the distance between the schools. And while she won, getting planning board approval vacated in September, the case remains ongoing. And she had a newsletter and basically an email blast that says this is concerning and raises questions about the city's commitment to prioritizing the health and safety of Hoboken children. The proposed amendment would reduce the allowable proximity to schools from 600 to 200 feet, as I just mentioned, change the measurement of distance from point to quote-unquote normal walking distance, and allow dispensaries to open on the same block as a school. And if you look at the resolution that I mentioned with the councilwomen, they say that this would go against the policies of 21 other states. Of course, New Jersey is not one of them. And I reached out to both Cohen and Quintero Cohen did not reply to my email, but I did hear from Quintero, and he actually gave me a pretty long, detailed answer. He said, in Hoboken, we permitted 6 licenses for retail locations. 4 are currently approved locally, with both Blue Violets and Harmony in limbo. Ultimately, we want to get 6 open and operating so that we can further our goals of serving adult use customers, reducing or eliminating black market sales, and increasing revenues for our city. So with that, there's something that goes hand in hand, well, maybe not hand in hand, but certainly is related. What's going on at the Jersey City Council and also the Hoboken Council, as I just mentioned at the top of the program when I was speaking with Councilman Saleh. Jersey City is going to look at this measure that involves e-bike delivery licensing. They're going to do that through the businesses, while in Hoboken they're doing that through the individual drivers. Some other key differences: registration fee in Hoboken it's $5 per driver. In Jersey City, it would be $200 per business every other year, biennial, and also, both would require vests that have their registration number on it, and also in Jersey City, they want you to have it written out who you're working for. So, you know, it's interesting timing. Hoboken, in theory, is voting on second reading tonight, while Jersey City will have their introduction tomorrow night. The thing in Hoboken is I'm hearing that there's a good chance at least one council member will be absent, and I'm also hearing that amendments are highly probable. So in either of those circumstances, perhaps both, I would not expect to see a vote on second reading tonight, but you know, Hoboken's about as unpredictable as it gets, so don't count your chickens before they hatch kind of thing. But certainly we will have somebody there and we will bring you exactly what transpires. Now, before we go into our final break, there's an internal poll from Mayor Ravi Bala. You probably recall last week there was an internal poll from U.S. Rep. Rob Menendez, and that had the incumbent up by 22 points. Now, in this situation with the Hoboken mayor, his campaign poll that they paid a Washington, D.C. based pollster to do says they're statistically tied, 44 to 41, with Bala down 3 points, but that's, of course, within the margin of error. And there's 15% of these 403 poll respondents that are undecided, and those 403 were likely Democratic voters, and they took umbrage with the fact that the Menendez campaign surveyed just 400 registered Democratic voters as opposed to likely primary voters. But Ben Lazarus of TargetSmart, he came back and said that's not actually what we did. We actually did poll likely voters as well. So this is interesting, and that 8th district race continues to heat up. We're going to keep our eyes and ears on that 24/7, 365. We're going to take our last break, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back.
Panepinto Properties, Jersey City, shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office spaces and addresses your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment, adjacent to all modes of transportation with on-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. Call 201-521-9000 or visit online at panepintodevelopment.com. Panepinto Properties, building Jersey City for everyone.
Good Friend Self-Storage in North Bergen, New Jersey is a fully climate-controlled facility equipped with state-of-the-art security, packing supplies, a Refer a Friend program, and multiple loading docks convenient for commercial use. Located just off of Route 3 at 4301 Tunnelly Avenue, Route 1 and 9. Call 201-867-2444 or visit us on the web today. Good Friend Self-Storage. Let us be your good friend.
Hudson County View live and uncut. John R. Heinis. So one last segment, folks. We'll call it a week now. I just told you, and as you could plainly see and hear, this 8th District congressional race is heating up, even though the June 4th primary is still a ways off. And just to show that, well, the current state of affairs, I think would be the best way to say it, is U.S. Rep. Rob Menendez went to the Hoboken Public Library and announced a $69,499.39, actually, to be exact, Library of Congress grant for the Hoboken Public Libraries, the Puerto Rican Experience in Hoboken and America project. So a bit of a mouthful, but if you saw the picture, it's them posing with one of those big clearinghouse-style checks that has Rob Menendez in the upper hand left corner, and it's quite a sight to see. Obviously, his opponent, or at least his chief opponent, is the mayor of the Mile Square City. So yeah, I think it kind of speaks for itself. He said, I'm excited to have helped secure this almost $70,000 grant, which will allow the Hoboken Public Library to highlight and honor the rich history of Hoboken's Puerto Rican community. I am proud to support institutions like the Hoboken Public Library that provide important community resources for learning and cultural exploration. I congratulate the library on this grant from the Library of Congress for the Puerto Rican experience in Hoboken and America, and I look forward to its positive impact throughout our community. Looking forward to see what other sorts of grant funding and legislation come out of this election. Certainly, it's not going to be boring, and it hasn't been so far. Finally, as we discussed a bit last week, folks, I've been digging into these annual police major discipline reports. About 3 years ago, you recall that the Attorney General of New Jersey is mandating every department has to report major discipline, which is defined as any disciplinary action that was a 15-day suspension or more for that calendar year, of course, January 1 to December 31st of any given year. So the Hudson County Corrections one was a little interesting because you saw that 3 officers were fired and 1 looked poised to be fired, but in the 11th hour, they kind of just ended up reversing their decision. You know, one of the problems with these reports is a lot of details are kind of left on the cutting room floor. Whether that's intentional or not is another story, but when we're talking about Corrections Officer Sergeant Ryan Spicer, well, I'll just read to you what the report says. A final restraining order was granted by Bergen County Superior Court on October 22nd, 2022, prohibiting Spicer from possessing any and all firearms, making him unable to fulfill his duties as a law enforcement officer. Internal Affairs officers sustained charges against Spicer for domestic violence. During the termination process, the FRO was vacated on September 26, 2023. Spicer returned back to work on October 20, 2023, with his time recorded as unpaid administrative leave, waiving all claims to back pay. And there were 8 suspensions in total. Those were ranging from 20 to 90 days. And again, that was 8 different corrections officers. So I've got through almost every report. I'm pretty sure the only one that I have to look at is Secaucus Police. And I know at a glance they only had 2 suspensions that were pretty minor. But we'll get to that next week, folks. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching Hudson Media Group. Follow us on social media on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.